Chris, did you ever play past the junior varsity level of basketball?
Well, I got asked to leave the varsity team. So, yes, I did play varsity basketball, but I got asked to leave.
And why did you get asked to leave?
Creative differences with the coach.
And what kind of creative differences?
He thought that I was probably a little bit better at football, and they were like, we don't want to risk you getting hurt and taking your time, so we need to get you out to run track and play football. So they said it's probably the best thing for you.
DC ain't even make JVT. I love it.
I 100% did, and I was asked to leave. And, there's a lot of people out there that know why and that can stay. It's not something we need to dig up.
It was fighting was involved, if I'm not mistaken, correct? You beat somebody. Basically, you bullied somebody.
I was a lover, not a fighter, and I have the daughter to prove it, So
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? What is happening? Welcome back to Big B Daily. This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. We appreciate y'all being here. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. What's going on, TikTok? What is going on, YouTube? Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for showing up. Man, we got a good Wednesday today. Good Wednesday today. NFL rule changes. I can't stand them. We'll get into those. Chiefs, are they better without Snead? And did they even get enough for Snead? I'm not sure. And then, is it humanly possible that the Lakers are better without LeBron? Are they better without him? I don't know. I know they got 2 wins over the Bucks without him, and the Bucks are pretty good. We'll cover all that and more. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you, guys. Again, if you're on TikTok, continue. Tap the screen. We need at least 5,000 likes and 30 new follows. So if you're in here and you're not following, please do so. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for being here, man. So, again, if you guys enjoy what we're doing, love the show, we encourage you to continue to come back. But also, if you choose to support the show, we would appreciate it. Super chats are on YouTube. You kind of control the show from there. Same thing on TikTok. You got the tip jar with the link in the bio. And also, we have any gifts or whatever you want to do. Just likes, follows, all that good stuff. Click on the link in the bio. Come join the live over on YouTube. We appreciate it. Let's get it going, people. Let's get it going. So the first thing is these NFL rule changes. First off, how do you guys feel about them? I think they stink. Let's start here with the hip drop tackle. Football is a dangerous sport. Can we do some things to try to make it better? Absolutely. Should we do some things to try to make it better? Absolutely. But, I just don't see how you're tackling people anymore. I got into a debate last night on Instant Replay, my podcast that comes on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock Central Time. Make sure you guys check that out. And, we talked about it, and basically what it came down to was, well, go back to how we were taught to tackle. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? I go, you weren't taught to tackle. If a guy's past you or in front of you, what are you supposed to do? I go, you have to get the guy down any way you can get him down. They took out the horse collar tackle. Okay. And now you're taking this out too? I'm like, if I grab a guy around the waist, aren't I supposed to fall down and tackle him? Or do I just have to let him keep running? I think it's weird. And I understand it's a dangerous tackle. I'm not saying that it isn't. But if there's a better way, somebody needs to tell me. And I know it hasn't been a thing. And I admit, the hip drop tackle has not been a thing. It has come about in the last 5 years. You grab a guy around the waist and you drop your weight down on the back of their legs as they're running. That gets them down. It stops them. Yes. And I get the impact. I understand that it's a 20% more or 20 times more, dangerous of a tackle. Well, football is dangerous. Football is dangerous, you know, and they don't eliminate guys at the line of scrimmage from linemen diving at defensive players' knees. They don't eliminate any of that kind of stuff, but they will eliminate a guy being tackled from behind. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Big offensive lineman, the play goes away, a defensive lineman's chasing. You can literally dive at the back of his legs. You can do that within the box, and there's no penalty. And yet, here's what we're doing on tackles. I don't get it. I don't get it. And the argument the guy was, well, you can just dive at their legs to tackle them. Well, wait a minute. Aren't I supposed to be a sure tackler? Sure tacklers wrap up. Why can't I just wrap up their waist? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it. It's ridiculous. And I never was a guy that said, oh, the NFL's getting soft. It's going to be flag football. I was never that guy. I always thought it was an overreaction. I don't think it's an overreaction anymore. I don't think it's an overreaction anymore. I absolutely think that this is crazy. I don't like it. I don't like it. So, and we all know the reasoning behind it is because NFL scoring has gone down the last 4 years. It's the same thing always happens though. It's a big cycle. They want offensive scoring to be up. That's what they want. It brings in more viewers, more points, more excitement, blah, blah, blah. They change rules. The offense soars. Then it takes a while for the defenses to catch up. That's what's happened. And then they make another change. And then it takes a minute for the defenses to catch up. And then they make a change. And this is exactly what's happening right now. Defenses have caught up. We saw last year. Last year, it was pathetic. Offensive football, the defense caught up. Everybody's, well, the quarterbacks were terrible. Well, why were the quarterbacks terrible? It's because defenses figured some shit out. And that's okay to do. That's okay to do. And yet, nope, we can't have that. We can't have the defense catching up. We got to change the rules. We got to change the rules and make it harder for them to do their job. We got to change those rules. And that's what they did. That's what they did. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't like it. I want to see I don't need to see my football game be 51-45. I don't need that. Now, granted, I'm not saying I need to see a game that's 7-6, but at least I want to see both sides of the ball be able to compete at an even kill level. You keep disarming defenders. That's the whole thing. You keep disarming them and what they're able to do. I mean, at this rate, what are they going to do? Just eliminate the defense altogether? I don't know. It's getting stupid. It's just getting stupid, and I don't like it. Yes, Chuck Miller says, how about the offense play better? Yes. Play better. Play better. I mean, there's nothing that says that the offense can't play better. My man, Pat Cockrell, I'm with J.J. Watt. Just skip to making it flag football already, since that's where it's headed, unfortunately. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. So, I don't think it saves money if they get rid of the defense. I get what you're saying. They're not going to have to pay defensive guys, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It becomes so much harder to play defense. And let's just keep it 100. The defensive guys are the most athletic guys on the field. That is the truth. They're the most athletic guys on the field. And you just make it so hard for them to do their job. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So we'll see what happens, man. And then the next rule. I mean, this is a joke to me. The kickoff rule. I don't care if you people like XFL football. This is an absolute joke. To start the kicking team at the receiving team's 40-yard line. The other team starts at the 30-yard line. Nobody can move until the guy catches the ball. It's a joke. It's a joke. Oh, well, you know, we were wanting to get kickoffs and kick returns back part of the game. Well, they did make two changes that make sense. You don't want there to be a whole bunch of touchbacks. Fine. If you kick a touchback, the offense gets the ball at the 30-yard line. They'll stop. They'll stop doing that. They'll stop kicking the ball through the end zone. No more fair catches. Great. They'll stop kicking the ball like that. So you know. And the next thing is I don't understand how they think that this is better. That is horrific. So the kickoff rule is a joke. It is a joke. You could have changed and got returns by just making those two rules. Now it's, well, we don't want those big collisions running down there. Do we want collisions in football? Have we stopped allowing for collisions to be in football now? Football is a collision sport. I'm sorry. It just is. What are we doing? Oh, my goodness. I mean, they didn't stop. It's weird that the NFL guys would make this change. They didn't change it in college. They haven't changed anything in college. They didn't say, oh, well, no, we can't have kickoffs. I mean, this is just dumb. It's just dumb. And I hope it goes away after 1 year. I can't believe that. But this is what happens, though, people. Because who votes on this? Owners. This is what happens when you let guys make decisions that have never touched a football field in their life. And all they care is about the bottom dollar. This kickoff rule is not football. This kickoff rule is not football. It's not football. It's not. It's garbage because that's what the XFL did. And I was not an XFL fan. Why would I be? Because the football was horrendous. And I don't know. Oh, man. It's terrible. Let me see what you guys are saying over here on TikTok. Not even in high school. No. They do everything they can to protect players in high school. Did they change this rule? Absolutely not. Should have been to the 35 if you kick it through the end zone to make them return. Exactly. There you go, Trevin. Should have made it to the 35. If you really want returns, make the punishment for touchbacks even greater. Darren Howard says on YouTube, we got softer and more tolerant as a society, so our sports follow suit. It's inevitable. The new norm. It's terrible. That's 100% right. 100% right. Ooh, yeah. The kids play 7-on-7. They grow up so much on 7-and-7. So they grow up watching 7-on-7. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I hate the new rule. I think the rule is horrible. Safety is our priority. And yet, they have turf and Thursday games that cause more injuries. Say it again louder, Trevin. Say it again louder. Not only that, not only do they say they care about safety, they have a 17th game. They're trying to get an 18th game. They're trying to, I mean, they already have Thursday games, which if you had Thursday games, it should be you have a bye week and then you play on a Thursday. It should never be you played on Sunday, then I got to go travel somewhere and play on Thursday. That should never be the case. That should never be the case. Everybody that plays on a Thursday should have a bye week the previous week so you can prepare and have time. But NFL doesn't care. They're lying about safety. They're lying about it. They don't care. They literally do not care. But they do care about money. They do care about money. Now, I'm not one of those people, I'm never going to watch the NFL. I'm still going to watch. But damn it, I'm still going to complain too. And I'm free to do that. I'm going to watch and I'm going to complain because it is a joke of what they have done. This is, I mean, the hip drop tackle rule, I can get past that. I can get past it. I don't like it, but I can get past it. The kickoff rule, I can't get past. I have to sit and watch that. Yeah, I'm not going to get past that. Because now you've turned this into a show. It was a game. Now you've turned it into a show. It's a joke. So, it's a joke. Like I said, I can get past the hip drop tackle rule because, there's guys that get hurt, but are we going to outlaw every time a guy gets hurt? No. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So, Chuck Miller, WWE football. Yeah, I can't believe that NFL owners, but it'll change the next year. If enough people gripe and complain about it, it'll change. It'll change because it's going to look so stupid. That's my whole thing. And the one thing that I know about billionaires, they don't like looking stupid. They don't like to look stupid. They can be wrong, even though they don't like people telling them that they're wrong. They can be wrong, but they don't like looking stupid. And it's going to look stupid. And they'll change because they don't want that. They don't want that. So hopefully this thing only lasts a year, man. Jeez. So no, it won't be better than 99% touchbacks. It won't be because they could have changed that by just saying, get the ball at the 30-yard line and there's no more fair catches. Boom, boom, boom. You want to give people a more of an advantage? Then kick the ball through the end zone. Otherwise, don't do it. There's no more fair catches. That's easy. Those were two easy things that you could have done to change the kickoff rule. Easy things. But you didn't do that. So, oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. Ugh. So let's move on, man. Let's move on. Because I could be talking about this all day, and it's only going to piss me off. And I'm sure a lot of you is going to piss you off too. We got other stuff to talk about. Let's get to the next segment here. Again, as a reminder, 9 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday, Big B Daily is live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Again, man, if you want to try to control some of the conversation and you enjoy what we're doing, if you're on YouTube, please consider liking, following, sending a super chat, all that kind of stuff. Super chat gets your question and your statement read immediately. On TikTok, the tip jar is wide open. Any GIF that you want to send, boom, boom, boom. All your statements. We love all the participation. So we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. And more importantly, please follow if you have an opportunity. And click on the link and come on over to YouTube, man. Come on over. So the next thing is, did the Steelers get enough for L'Jarius Sneed? Not the Steelers, I'm sorry. Did the Chiefs get enough for L'Jarius Sneed? Did the Chiefs get enough for L'Jarius Sneed? And are the Chiefs better? The first thing, let's attack, are the Chiefs better? Well, obviously, I don't think they are. I don't think they're better. Did they get enough? Probably not. But it became more apparent that the Chiefs needed the cap space more than they needed Sneed. And I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth. They needed the cap space and more than they needed Sneed. The one thing that the Chiefs have really done over the last 4 years is been able to draft good defensive backs. They've been really good at that. And while you lose Sneed, and Sneed was one of the best ones, he wasn't an all-pro, but he was really good. And really good corners, you need those. But the Chiefs kind of have that, don't they? I'm not saying they have guys as good as Sneed, but if you really take a deep dive into the Chiefs secondary, they have some guys. They have some guys, And, somebody mentioned McDuffie. McDuffie was already there, and he was an all-pro. So the Chiefs have other guys. And, they're going to draft. I mean, most teams draft a corner. You can never have enough good corners. So, and the Chiefs, like I said, they've been really good at drafting corners. So I think that the Chiefs, I don't think they're better without him, but I think they're probably close to the same. They definitely didn't get enough for him. They didn't get enough for him. a third-round pick next year. I mean, I guess if that's what you're doing, I guess. I thought the Chiefs were going to run it back with him. That's what I thought. I thought they tagged him. I just thought, okay, they got the tag on him. They'll pay him the 1 year, and then they'll let him go. They'll go try to three-peat and let him go. But the Chiefs are thinking bigger picture, and they're like, nope, we need the money now. Let's get rid of him now. Let's put him in a better position. Not to mention, the Chiefs put him in a better position because he went to the Titans and got paid. And the Chiefs were never going to pay him. You know, sometimes an NFL franchise will do right by you. It's not often. It's not often. But every now and then, an NFL franchise will do right by a player. And it looks like the Chiefs did that because they got rid of him a year early because you knew he didn't want to play on the tag. $19 million is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But you knew he wanted more security than that. The Chiefs literally couldn't do that for him, even though they wanted to, but they couldn't. And they got rid of him. They got rid of him. So I think, like I said, I think the Chiefs did right by him. It's one of those rare instances that a team says, you know what, this guy's been good to us. We're going to be good to him. We can't keep him on our team, but we're going to be good to him. We're going to get him somewhere else where he can go and get paid. And you got to remember, Snead didn't have to say, okay, I'm going to sign long-term with the Titans. He didn't have to do that. He could have just went over there and said, you know what? I don't want a long-term deal. I want to get to somewhere else. But he's like, you know what? Tennessee's got something going, and they actually do. I like it here. I'll be fine. You're paying me the money. Let's do it. It's good for them. Good for everybody involved. So, good for everybody involved. But I like what I like I said, the Chiefs aren't better. They're not better. You're not going to tell me you're going to lose somebody like Snead and to turn around and say you're better. And you definitely didn't get enough for him for somebody of his caliber. But how many times in trades do you get the same quality? Like when you're trading a really good guy, how often do you get equal value? So that's the whole thing. How often do you get equal value in a trade when you trade somebody that's good? So let's go over to some comments here over on YouTube. My man Chance Walker. What's going on, Chance? That's why a third and a fifth is more than enough for a player you weren't going to pay. For the player wanted to stay. Nah, don't tell me. Just because you weren't going to pay him doesn't mean you got enough for him. I agree that you never really get equal value, but a third and a fifth next year is not enough. It's not enough. But, hey, you weren't going to pay him. I get that part of it. But the Chiefs aren't better, but I like it. I like it. So, I definitely like it. The Chiefs did need the cap space, bro. Yes, they did. They absolutely did. Just because you got $21 million from Mahomes, you needed more cap space. Otherwise, they would have kept them. So that's the whole thing. My man Chance is saying, we just cleared $21 million in Patrick's contracts. We don't need the cap space. Well, if you didn't need the cap space, then why didn't you pay Snead? I'm just curious. Because if you don't need that cap space that he gave you, which is another $19 million, if you didn't need the cap space, what would you rather have, cap space or a proven outstanding corner? I would bet you would rather have the proven outstanding corner than an extra $19 million in cap space. That's not what the Chiefs did. They needed the cap space. Otherwise, they would have paid Snead. I mean, I think we can all agree with that. If they had the money, they would have just paid him. But they didn't. But I get it. I get it. So, and it was down to Chris Jones and Snead. That's the whole point of them not having the money. Because if they had the money, they'd have kept both of them. They didn't. And there ain't no question that you keep Chris Jones over Snead. No question at all. You have to do that. We've covered that. We've talked about that already. You have to take Chris Jones over Snead. 29-year-old pass rusher that can rush from all four defensive line positions that has to be accounted for in the run game. that's a game wrecker if you don't account for him? Lord have mercy. It wasn't even a question on whether you take Chris Jones, but that could be anybody. I mean, you're taking a dominant defensive tackle. That's why I don't know what the hell Miami was doing when they gave up on Christian Wilkins. I'm like, you don't just get those guys on trees. Now you got Miami fans. Well, he wasn't that good. He really wasn't. Really, he wasn't that good. Lord have mercy. But I get it. Yeah, you got to keep Jones over Snead. So you got to keep Jones over Snead. Yes. You'll find another corner. That's exactly right. You're not going to find Chris Jones. You're saying, my man Chance on YouTube saying you might find Chris Jones every 5 or 10 years. Maybe you do. Maybe you get another guy of his caliber in 5 or 10 years. I mean, there's some franchises out there right this very second that would be willing to bet you that you can't find another Chris Jones, maybe ever. I mean, who? What franchise? Like Arizona Cardinals. When was the last good defensive lineman that they had? And don't tell me J.J. Watt after he was already finished. When was the best D tackle that the Cardinals have had? That's what I'm saying, man. They don't just grow on trees. They just don't grow on trees. So keeping Chris Jones was a necessity. Keeping Chris Jones. Calais Campbell didn't play there long enough. And is Calais Campbell in the same category as Chris Jones? No, he's not. So, not to mention, that was over a Docket doesn't count. Stop it, Chuck Miller. You know better. Stop it. And Docket was good, what? When the Steelers won the Super Bowl, and he's not in the same caliber. Arizona has never had a guy. So, they just haven't. It's crazy, though. Yeah, there's teams out there, man, that they've never had a defensive tackle that has been good or like that's been that kind of caliber. Like the Broncos. Who was their defensive tackle that was in the same caliber of a Chris Jones? I'm not talking defensive end. I'm just talking about defensive tackles that can do what Chris Jones. I mean, you just don't. I mean, the Rams, they had Aaron Donald. So, hell, I could even say the Steelers. Now, Cam Hayward's really good. He's not as good as Chris Jones, but he's really good. But, they don't grow on trees. You got to keep those defensive linemen. Again, that's why I don't get what Miami was doing with that. I don't understand it. But, I mean, the Dolphins have basically said we're going to try to do offense over defense. I don't know if that's going to work, people. We'll see what happens, especially when it comes to defensive linemen. So, Campbell was elite in 2010s. Really, it's 2024. So, but whatever. That must be and Calais Campbell was not elite. So you need to watch more football if you think Calais Campbell was in the same class as a Chris Jones. Just stop. Just stop. Because he's not. Good player. But he was not elite. So don't go there. What do I think about Wilkins next to Crosby for the Raiders? I think it's going to be outstanding. I think it's going to be, you're going to have to deal with him. You're going to have to deal with him. So, and teams already had problems dealing with Max Crosby by himself. Now you line Christian Wilkins up next to him. It's a problem. If they can find anybody on the other side, just anybody first of all, those guys are going to be single covered. So if you got anybody with a pulse, then you're going to be good. So that defensive line should be better with the Raiders if you've got anybody with a pulse. So, yeah, but people are disrespecting Wilkins. Sometimes you just got to let stuff go. I'm learning that, as you all know, I'm becoming better with my personal growth. And you got to let some things go. When people say stupid stuff about Wilkins not being any good, they're mad that their team didn't sign him, or they're mad that he went to a team that he's going to play against you and wreck your offense, or you're a Dolphins fan and saying, well, he didn't do anything. Well, he did a lot because they don't pay guys that kind of money that stink. Yeah, they gave him, what was it, $110 million because he wasn't any good? They don't do that. So they just don't do that. Let's move on. We can come back to that in the open mic session. We got some more stuff to cover here. So, Lakers may be better without LeBron James. Did y'all watch the basketball game? I know a lot of people aren't into the NBA yet, but that was a good basketball game last night between the Lakers and the Bucks. And the Lakers have beaten the Bucks twice this year without LeBron playing. And the Bucks are a really good basketball team. Could it be that the Lakers might be better without him? I mean, we saw it last night. The ball moved. Things were different. The offense was totally different. I'm just wondering. I'm just asking questions. Don't get mad at me. I'm just asking questions. And look, I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron guy. But I'm a everybody guy. If you're good, I'm for you. I don't just root for one guy and nobody else is any good. I'm not that cynical or that silly. I root for everybody that's good. So my question, could they possibly be better? I know the offense looked better. Guys were making shots. They didn't get the ball at the end of a shot clock and have to make a shot or go make a play. The ball moved. AD was that dude. After getting punked earlier in the game, he must have figured out, you know what? I'm going to go out here and do my thing. And he did it. AD is playing like a monster this year, and it's getting overshadowed because the Lakers aren't winning a ton of games. But I think that might change if they get into the playoffs because I think they got to ride AD. I know everybody's been saying it. I think they got to ride AD. No diddy. But they got to use him until and let him take it home. But I don't know. I think LeBron's got to kind of fit in where he gets in and stop bogging down the basketball all the time. But that's just me. He's got to be better. I think he's got to be better. Like, I mean, I like LeBron, and LeBron can still do his thing, but he can't just hold the ball all the time. So, and that's the thing. People, you can't keep relying on LeBron. The man's almost 40. And he's playing really well still. Don't get me wrong. He's playing really well. I mean, the guy's averaging, 25, 7, and 7? And he does it in his sleep. But it's the way that he gets it is the problem, is that the other guys can't do their thing because LeBron's doing his. I think LeBron just needs to take a step back, let others be themselves as well. And then if you need to take over the game at the end of the game, go do that. But the others have already done their thing. So if you need them, if you have to kick the ball to them, they got some sort of a rhythm. That's what I'm saying. So, and now, Pat Cockrell, I love you, but this is a ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous statement. Yes, they're better without LeBron because you believe LeBron is more focused on his son's development right now. That's ridiculous. First of all, if anybody has kids, you're telling me that you can't focus on your job and your child at the same time? I think most parents can multitask. And I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm guessing most parents can multitask. And he's still really, really good at his job. It's not like LeBron's bad at his job. He's good at it. And he's still trying to develop his son. So I love you, Pat, but come on, man. Let's not do that. Let's not be those people. You know, him multitasking, it has nothing to do with him. Darren Howard, LeBron plays off the ball way more than he used to. Yeah, he does. Austin Reeves and Snitch Russell dribble the air out of the ball the past few years. I mean, look, everybody knows I'm not a fan of Snitch Russell. That would be D'Angelo Russell for people that don't know. But to me, it's Snitch Russell. But when they got it going, they got it going. I like them. But yeah, you can't depend. I mean, you see in the playoffs, you can't always depend on Snitch Russell. You just can't. Not to mention, he can't guard a telephone pole. So, but could they be better without LeBron? I don't know. I mean, you could say it's 2 fluke games, but against really good competition, it's hard to say that 2 games that you've played against them are flukes. You know, it's one thing if you play better against a team that's not any good. Okay, yeah, it is what it is. But they're good. They're good. So why do you him like that? I don't know what that means. Snitch Russell? I mean, y'all have Google. Y'all know why Snitch Russell is Snitch Russell. Y'all can Google it and find out. And until that day, look, he's from Louisville. His daddy's from Louisville. I know his daddy because I'm from Louisville. We're close to the same age. And everybody said the same thing about his daddy, too. Snitch Russell is his name. Boom, that's the end of the story. I'm not changing. Oh, Snitch Russell. But he can hoop. He can shoot. So, Chance, let AD, D'Lo, and the reserves cook the then second unit with LeBron. So you want LeBron to be with the second unit? Yeah, I don't think that's the best option either. But maybe. I mean, you're not going to bring LeBron off the bench, but I get what you're saying. And then maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe that's just what they need to do. But hopefully Snitch Russell can keep it together. But more importantly, hopefully AD can keep it together. Because if AD continues to play like this, like the monster that he should be playing like he should have been playing like the last 5-6 years, if he continues to do this, the Lakers have a chance. They have a chance. I'm not saying they're going to beat Denver. I'm not saying anything like that. But if AD continues to play like this, the Lakers have a chance. But he's just got to do it. He can't keep getting beat up and punked by Sabonis when they play Sacramento. I mean, he's never even beaten Sabonis and has played like a child when they play against him. It's horrible. So, and he stayed healthy. That's the thing. Let's cross our fingers. Knock on wood. He has stayed healthy this year. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, if this happens, they got a chance. They absolutely got a chance. So let me look here. My man Pat Cockrell says, here's a question. Why is it that the Lakers, it seems like it's either AD is amazing for a stretch and then LeBron is amazing for a stretch, but never both at the same time? Well, the only time that we've ever seen that, they actually won the title in the bubble. Or last year in the playoffs before they got to Denver. Both of them were amazing. And then when they got to Denver, AD fell apart. You know, he got cooked. You know, Joker just obliterated him. LeBron was good. So that's a problem that I don't think anybody can solve, though. The only person that can solve the Joker problem was Embiid. And Embiid's team's not good enough to get there to beat him. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. The Clippers are better. The Clippers have fallen apart, though, Scott. The Clippers have fallen apart. They got super, super hot for 2 months, but it was December and January. Since February, the Clippers have not been very good. And unfortunately, I think that might continue. And unfortunately, it might cost Ty Lue his job. Because I think that going into a new stadium next year, I think Steve Ballmer expects the team to at least make the Western Conference Finals this year. And I don't think that's going to happen with this Clippers team. I just don't. I don't. They're not playing well again at the worst time. Like I said, they got smoking hot for 2 months. And now it's like, what happened? What happened to them? I mean, not playing good basketball. Don't tell me that Russell Westbrook getting hurt changed the dynamics. The guy was only playing 18 minutes a night. You're telling me those 18 minutes and wasn't even at crunch time? You're telling me that changed everything? No way. So hopefully they can get it back together. Do I think the Celtics will win it all? No. I don't think the Celtics are tough enough to win it all. I don't think the Celtics are tough enough to win it all, man. I don't. I thought they would be, but they're not. They're not. I'm still not a fan of Jaylen Brown, though. I am not a Jaylen Brown believer. I think Jaylen Brown is a good player. I think he is a really good player. I don't think he's great. Everybody's talking about Mike couldn't go left. Jaylen Brown couldn't go. He can't go left to save his life, and we've seen it. All that lying about Michael Jordan not being able to go left with just BS. Thank God that has finally died down. So, who is stopping Denver? I'm not sure anybody. Healthy Timberwolves win it all. No, they don't. No, they don't. I like the Timberwolves this year more than last year because Timberwolves finally figured out, those guys, hey, we can play some defense. We're athletic enough to play some defense. And they play outstanding defense. But there's too many times, too many stretches where Anthony Edwards has a 6 for 27 game. I mean, you can't be going 6 for 27 and winning in the playoffs. That's just not going to work. The game will slows down in the playoffs. So you're not going to get the extra possessions and opportunities when you shoot like that. So I love Ant-Man. I think he's great. But are they ready to win it? I don't think so. Do they have the toughness to win it? I don't know. I don't think so. Because we know Cat ain't tough. Cat's a good player, but he ain't tough. But he's got to get back and get healthy. Hopefully that meniscus wasn't as bad as we all know meniscus can be. They can be horrible. So hopefully it's not that bad. Hopefully it's not that bad. So, and who do I have in the finals? I got Denver. And I probably have the Celtics. But here's the thing. Who I would like to be in the finals now, this is who I'm rooting to get there. If they're healthy, I want to see the Knicks in the finals. Isn't it time that we get the Knicks back in the finals? Now, I don't think the Knicks have a chance in hell in winning it. And I don't even really think that they can beat Boston fully healthy, but I think they could give Boston a run for their money. But I would love to see the Knicks in the finals. I would love it. I think it'd be good for basketball. I think it'd be good for the NBA. They don't have to win it because I don't think they can. But I'd love to see them in it. The Bucks versus the Celtics can't be for the championship, my guy. Oklahoma and so that's who you want in the Final Four. Oklahoma City and Denver and the Bucks and the Celtics. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Hey, as a reminder, everybody, we're not going to have a show tomorrow. No show tomorrow on Thursday. I'm part of 24/7 Sports, if you can't see, and they're doing the Big 12 Combine here in Dallas tomorrow. So I am covering that for 24/7 Sports for my section of it. So there will be no show tomorrow morning. I apologize. But yeah, I'm going to the Big 12 Combine. They're not doing pro days for individual schools in the Big 12. They kind of got smart, and this makes sense. They combined it all and put it all together. And so all the schools are having it all in 2 days, on Thursday and Saturday. I love it. I love that aspect of it. So just as a reminder, no show tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday. So let's see. My man said, your Pete Rose Ohtani comparison was bad. How was it bad? Pete bet on Major League in. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing you meant Major League Baseball. Ohtani situation has no Major League Baseball bet. Well, you're not allowed to bet on baseball, and you're definitely not allowed to bet through an illegal bookie. So betting is betting. Tell me the difference. If you're not allowed to bet and you do, then, I mean, follow the rules. You're not allowed to bet, and you're not allowed to bet illegally. The one thing about Pete Rose wasn't in danger of going to jail. People think, oh, Pete Rose went to jail. That was for tax evasion. That didn't have nothing to do with betting. He went for tax evasion. If they can prove Ohtani did this, he can go to jail. There's your big difference. Pete Rose was never in any danger of going to jail. Ohtani, if proven that he did it, yeah, he can go to jail. So there's the difference. I mean, it's all the same, man. It's all the same. And we don't know that Pete, first of all, to say that Pete Rose didn't bet on the games that he played, come on, people, stop. Are we really that naive? Are we that naive to think that Pete Rose, while he was playing, that he didn't bet on baseball, and all of a sudden, when he stopped playing baseball, all of a sudden he bet every game as a manager on his team? Come on, people, don't be so naive, man. Thanks for the gift, Alabama. Don't be so naive. Of course he did. Of course. Hell, Pete Rose will tell you he's a degenerate gambler. What do you think that just started after he started playing or stopped playing baseball? Stop it. Come on. Look, come on, Goon Squad. Y'all are smarter than that. Y'all are definitely smarter than that. Golly. It just don't, I mean, look, it is what it is. Pete Rose bet on baseball. It was against the rule. First of all, Pete Rose bet on everything. It was against the rules. Do I think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame? 1,000% he should be in the Hall of Fame. 1,000%. Because whether he bet or not, he could say that he bet against the team that he was playing for every single game. But you know what? It didn't stop him from setting the all-time hit record. It didn't do that. It didn't stop him from playing. I mean, we saw Pete Rose play. I mean, Pete Rose was out there playing as hard as he possibly could. We watched, well, I shouldn't say everybody watched it, but if you saw him play, you know he's out there playing hard. Hell, he damn near decapitated a man in an all-star game, for crying out loud. And that didn't even count. So, Pete Rose didn't cheat the game. I don't think so. Did he bet on it? Yeah, I think he bet on it. I think he bet on everything. But should he be in the Hall of Fame? Of course he should. Now, is he going to get in? I think he'll end up getting in, but it'll be after he's dead. I think he's going to get in after he's dead, because they won't give him that satisfaction while he's alive. They won't do it, which is despicable to think about. If you really think about that, they know, hey, we're going to put this guy in, but we're not going to let him get the satisfaction. We're going to wait till he dies, and then we're going to put him in. Despicable. Despicable. Pete Rose in the All-Star game is like Sean Taylor in the Pro Bowl. Boom, Michael. If anybody hasn't seen Sean Taylor destroying that punter in the All-Star game, YouTube it and go watch. Because if you see that, that's exactly what Pete Rose did to a catcher going into home in the All-Star game. That's exactly what happened. And hell, he might have hit him just as hard. So that's exactly what happened. So you can't pick and choose what rules breaks are considered cheating. Exactly. It's all cheating. It's all cheating. You can't decide which ones are, hey, you can break this rule, but that rule's okay. No, it's not. And I've said it 1,000,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000,000 more. I don't believe that betting on sports, on other sports that you're not participating in, I don't believe that that's a big deal. I really don't. If you play baseball and you bet on football, basketball, horse racing, I don't think that's a big deal. If you bet on the sport that you participate in, I think that is a gigantic deal. I think it's a gigantic deal. But if you bet on other things that you're not part of, I don't think it's a big deal. However, if your league says you're not allowed to bet on anything sports athletic wise, if you can't do it, otherwise you're going to be suspended or kicked out of the league, then you just can't do it. Period. End of story. It's their league. They get to make the rules. And if they say you can't do this or you're going to pay the price and it's going to be a steep price, then you can't do it because nobody is forcing you to be in their league. Nobody's making you do it. That's my only thing. Nobody's making you do it. So that's the whole thing. I think some of it stinks. Betting on your own sport is horrible, though. That's horrible. Because you can never keep the integrity. You could never keep the integrity. And, oh, by the way, if you're betting on your own sport, don't tell me you're never going to bet on your team. You absolutely are. Stop it. Hell, we just saw a guy. What was his name? Jonte or Javante Porter or whatever from the Raptors? He bet on his prop bets. Lord have mercy. So, yeah, people are going to do it. That's why you can't allow it. And if they decide that you can't do it for anything, then you just can't do it for anything, man. So you can't do it for anything. And this is a good point for my man Pierre Land. What's going on, man? I missed you. I'm glad you're back in the live over here on YouTube. He said this, and this is 100% true. If you're not Gretzky or Jordan, you're not getting away with gambling. Damn right. Because we both know that they did, and we both know that they got away with it. Period, end of story. I'm not saying Jordan gambled on the Bulls, but I wouldn't put it past them. But what we do know is that he got away with it. Hell, he admitted he gambled all the time. So sports betting got popular quicker than society could adjust to it. Too much gray area now. Absolutely. There's way too much gray area. I couldn't agree with that statement more, man. I could not agree with that statement more. Sports betting got so popular so fast, and the hypocrisy side of it is that the money is so great. Major League Baseball, NFL, the NBA, they all promote DraftKings, FanDuel. They all have their hand in that. All of them. Hell, what do you think fantasy football is? Fantasy football is gambling. And fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball, and all of them, they have their hand in all of that, man. That's where the hypocrisy comes in, and I think that's where people get bent out of shape because they're just like, hold on a second. Hell, every time I turn on or watch an NBA game or an NFL game or a hockey game or baseball, you guys are promoting sports betting, but then you don't allow your guys to do it. What the hell's going on? And I think that's where people have a problem. So I think that's where people have a problem. But again, their rules, their league, they can make the rules, man. What I'm going to say, if I had a business or you had a business, more importantly, you would be wanting to be able to make whatever rules you wanted to make. And if people wanted to work for you, they could, or they don't have to. It's their choice. This is the same thing. You don't have to be in professional sports if you don't want to. You could go be a computer programmer. You could go be an engineer. You could go be a school teacher. You could go do any of those things, and none of those things are going to keep you from betting on sports. But I'm guessing that you're going to try to ride this sports thing out as long as you can because the paycheck is so great that you're going to do it. You're going to try to get away with both, and then when you get caught, you can't be upset. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. And Ohtani tried to use the fall guy, and the fall guy admitted it. And then all of a sudden, after they meet with Major League Baseball and a whole bunch of lawyers, then all of a sudden the fall guy says, oh, no. He didn't pay off the bets. I stole his money. Come on. And that's what I'm saying. Look, Goon Squad, you guys are not that gullible. I know there's some Dodger fans out there that are mad at me and mad at everybody. You guys know the truth. You know the truth. There is nobody on earth that's going to come out and say, hey, man, this guy paid off my debt. And then 45 minutes later, come out and say, no, by the way, no, I stole the money and I'm going to be going to jail. Come on. No, that doesn't happen. And I get it. And first of all, if we think anything's going to happen to Ohtani, it's not. Major League Baseball is not letting anything happen to him. He's not going to get suspended. Nothing is going to happen to him. They're going to sweep this under the rug the best they can because he is the cash cow. They're not letting that get away. So we got to act. I mean, this is 2024, okay? We know that people have been getting away with crime, or it's not even really a crime. Other than betting sports, it's illegal. I guess technically in California it is. But he's getting away with it. People get away with stuff all the time, and they have for the history of time, man. We got to stop. Let it go. Don't be the fan that gets mad that says, oh, he got away with gambling. Okay, he got away with it. People have been getting away with stuff forever. OJ walks around free. Think about that. OJ Simpson walks around free. And he murdered 2 people. And yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. OJ, you murdered 2 people. You did it. And he walks around free. So it's a little gambling. Come on, man. He got away with it. Do I agree that it should be a rule? Gambling on other sports? No, but it is. Got to follow the rules. And maybe they make him pay a fine. Hell, for all we know, some of the money that he had to defer with the Dodgers, maybe some of that is Major League Baseball say, yeah, you can get $700 million, but we're going to get 150 of that to keep you around in this league. That's why you got to defer this money. We don't know. Any of that could have happened. Any of it. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Bottom line, we still love sports. Don't let this distract you. That's all this is just distraction from what we love. Pete Rose will never be in the Hall of Fame. I think he gets in just be after he's dead. That's the ultimate. That to me is the ultimate disrespect. Knowing that you deserve to be in, they're not going to let you get in. And we know that you deserve to be in, but we're going to wait until you're dead to put you in so you can never have the satisfaction. The ultimate disrespect. So, it's wild. Somebody asked, as a change of subject here, what do I think about Caleb Williams? I think Caleb Williams is in a perfect situation if the Chicago Bears draft him. The Bears are in a perfect, they have upgraded their roster. I think they are in a perfect position for him to succeed. He is in a good position. I wish they'd have kept Justin Fields and let him do it. But you know what? As a Steelers fan, I'll get behind Fields. Fields has never had the type of team that the Steelers have. And I hope Fields wins the job. So, I don't know if the Bears' O-line is good enough, but they'll upgrade it. They got the draft. They still other free agents out there. There's still guys out there. They got time. They got time. And if we're being honest, at the end of the year, basically the last 8 games, the Bears' offensive line wasn't as bad as what people are making it out to be. First part of the year and all of the previous season, the Bears' offensive line was horrendous. But the last 8 games, their offensive line wasn't horrible. It wasn't. It wasn't horrible. And if you notice, the Bears played pretty good. So, but we'll see, man. We're going to shut this one down for today. I appreciate everybody being in here. I love y'all, Goon Squad. Thank you guys for showing up for me. We hit over the 5K mark in likes. Anybody on TikTok, if you are in here and you're not following, please give me a follow, man. I appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate everybody. Thank you. If not, the next thing is, once you follow, click the link in the bio. Come over and subscribe to YouTube on Big B Sports Talk. Live is better. You get a lot more over there. You get access to interviews, podcasts. You get Hot Soup Fantasy Football. You get LTB Sports. You can get access to their content without even having to subscribe to them. I would encourage you to subscribe, but you don't even have to do any of that. So make sure you follow. If you're on TikTok, make sure you follow. Make sure you go click the link and subscribe over to YouTube. Please do that. Not to mention that the live that you guys are watching today is over on YouTube. You get a better visual, better interaction. It's just better altogether. I appreciate everybody. Remember, no show tomorrow. No show tomorrow. I won't be here. I'm covering the Big 12 Pro Day that's up at the Star. We will be back on Friday. I will catch you guys. Aloha.